Man, these valve seats look great. I'm having a hard time believing that this is a 300,000 mile engine. These are coming right off. Now if you lose one of these, they sell them for $12 each. So don't. Of course, in my experience, I lose them when I'm putting them on. I don't think I've ever actually like permanently lost one, but I lost one that was gone for long enough that I was putting the motor back together, and I put it in, and I raised up the spring, and it just went ping. Oh, I hit myself in the face with that one. Just, I'm like, where in the world? It went to another dimension, and I ended up just deep cleaning around the workbench and sweeping and checking the sweepings, and found it behind the HVAC. Like, hey, did you see a little metal fingernail clipping? Yeah, I really need it. Well, I can say I definitely prefer to do it on its end for disassembly. I haven't tried assembly on its end. That seems impossible, but yeah, disassembly is way easier this way. I looked up the cross reference between this head and the 01 head. They do not cross, so I didn't check to see why, but I'm gonna have to get a set of seals for this. I think I'm probably gonna get another engine rebuild set, so I've got a whole set for both motors. Yeah, I'll take that off later. But I don't think I'm going to get the one with the pistons again, just because now I have several extras, and haven't decided which direction I'm going to go. I figure if I put the J&D pistons in, J&D, not JE, unfortunately. J&D is just like JE, but not. But at least the price is you move the decimal point over by one. Oop. But I figure if the J&Ds don't last, I hate to think this way, I really do. But you know, if they don't last, I'll try to keep the motor clean enough that I could more rapidly swap them again. I'm running a real risk. First off, I could break down, but second, I could do a lot more damage in the motor if I'm wrong about what those pistons can handle. I did reach out to the company, did not get a response. Not too surprised. They're based out of Taiwan, but it would be nice to have a little, at least, suggestion. I have called, I've bought soldering stuff from Puhuiti and Yihua and some of those Chinese companies, and I've said, hey, I want to use it for such and such. And they go, oh, no, I don't recommend it for that. They're not going to say, this product is the best, you'll be happy no matter what. No, they're generally pretty good about saying whether or not it's the right product. I figure if I could get a hold of them, they'd probably say whether or not I should expect any kind of longevity out of it. I mean, I already bought them, so they got their money, but after this, I think I'll go try emailing them again. Oops. One more try. Think they'd be willing to give me the metallurgical information. Find out how well it hacks the heat anyway. Almost done on this side already. Okay. Do I see a groove? I can't tell if I see a groove in that cam journal. I'll have to compare to the cam. What is going on here? Oh, okay. Wow. Well, all right. What? Okay. I may have to eat my words. These do look like the same keepers. Is that the difference between the 99 and the 01? Oh, I might be thinking of the QG. Well, I don't remember. Don't take my word for it. Wow. Okay. No, those valve seats desperately need to be lapped. I thought they were better looking. I mean, the intake ones look perfect, absolutely perfect, but yeah. I wasn't expecting to see that much crud along the edge of the exhaust. Man, why are they doing that on these first couple of them? Not the rest of them. You know what? I think I'm going to have to raise my lower bar. Okay. Don't worry, I'll get that valve in just a second. Oops. I feel like one of these times I'm just going to go bam right on that. I hit myself in the head. Oh. God. This work is exhausting. Ha ha. Bad, been bad. Now, if I could get this one done, maybe also the Sentra behind me. Some of the next ones I've got are, I'm not intending to record, but I've got a 2011 Xterra that has a mystery electrical problem. That's not what I'm working on it right now. I'm actually changing the heater core, which requires basically disassembling the whole thing. But the weird electrical problem makes it not charge from the alternator. And I checked all the obvious stuff. But it also makes it think that the second fuel temperature sensor is short-circuited. I don't think I've ever had a car with a fuel temperature sensor, let alone two of them. I don't know where it is, and I doubt that it's bad. I think it's just some other electrical gremlin, like, you know, some bad signal voltage somewhere, some signal return, you know, something like that, where there's a single broken wire, I don't know, somewhere between the cup holder and one of the speakers, who knows. And it's completely goofing up a whole bunch of other stuff in the car. But that one has about 400,000 miles. I think it may be over 400,000 now. And mechanically, you would not know it. It runs like new. So, I'm gonna fix the heater core, figure out that electrical, and I guess just get it right back on the road. I don't think there's any refreshing to be done. It's just fresh. But I've got another one, which is a 2014 Volkswagen Rutan, which I like to call Volkswagen Rotten. It's got a whopping 110,000 miles, which is apparently a lot for a Rutan, because it's got a head gasket leak, a stuck lockup solenoid, a blown low velocity drum seal, two of the headrests have exploded. I've already had to replace all of the both of the axles, all of the mounts, the radiator and alternator. It's and all the bearings, and I had to use an air hammer to remove the lug nuts because they had welded to the lug studs, and I had to chip them away. The Rutan, if you're not familiar, is actually a Chrysler Town and Country. Volkswagen thought, we're known for quality. Who should we have make our minivan? They wanted to change their image up, I guess. Now, Volkswagen's also known for being really hard to work on. And that's where I would say the Rutan is a proper Chrysler. Everything is cheap. Everything is easy to get to. Build quality is terrible. Also, in typical Chrysler fashion, much more power than it really needs for the application. It's got the Pentastar 3.6. Transmission is the 62TE, so you got 6 gears that redline pretty darn high. So it's like the man's minivan, you know. And you know, it's a nice, smooth running, featureful van. But it's got to be heavily serviced before it can be used again. Now, I'm like torn as to whether it's worth it. And the reason I say that, if I put the time and money into it, I will never get that back if I try to sell it. However, if that's the van that we want, and I put the time and effort into it, it will have fixed the problems that tend to plague that van. Like every vehicle that I've had that's had like a bad reputation, like I had a couple Pathfinders, a couple Quests, and you know, the Quests, second generation Quest, I believe, so 2004 to 2009, I think it is. The 2004 and 2005 had a bad problem with the timing chain guides snapping off and the timing chain going slack. It never broke a chain. I mean, I've never heard of any VQ motor ever breaking a chain. Maybe you have. But what it does is it throws off the camshaft phases, and the computer goes into limp home. Well, okay, so that's the least damage. It just puts it into limp home. You have to manually shift your gears. You don't have much power. It's unpleasant, you know. But the worst is if the timing chain is slack, it could be slapping up against the side of the timing cover and sucking aluminum around into the rest of the engine, and obviously it doesn't like to eat aluminum all day. So, you know, once you get the vehicle and you know what the common problems are, you know, I had the Pathfinders had the radiators that would cross transmission fluid and coolant, and once it did, you threw out the whole car, the whole SUV. But you know, I got two of them and did the radiator, and nothing was wrong. They just keep driving perfectly well. So could the same be said for the Rutan? Fix the major problems with the 62TE. Honestly, I looked up what it would take to do the head gaskets, and it's really not bad. Even, you know, keeping everything in the vehicle, which is probably what I'd have to do. Transmission would have to drop out and come out the side, but I wouldn't remove the engine to work on it. Just because, you know, it's a minivan. But if I fix the low velocity drum, the lockup solenoid, head gasket, do I then end up with a Rutan that can do, say, 200,000-300,000 miles? Did I lose a keeper? Oh, wow. It landed in the spring of the valve below it, which, and now that I'm thinking about it, let me take it out. One, two, wait, 3, 4. You distracted me. All right, number 4, so that means, yeah, okay. Almost done. Wow. Last one. Let's not knock this thing over. Cool. Oop. Oh, there it is. Nice. All right. Cool. So next step I've got here is I've got the valve lapper. It's manual. Oh, wait. Last one. So we'll clean up the valves and the guide and the valves. And I think I'd like to. Maybe I'll clean the surface first, just so I don't put crud into the face of the valve land, whatever this is called, I forget. A lot of like sand in here. It's got the consistency of sand. Ooh, some flake of some kind. But yeah, I don't see any cracks between the valves. I don't see any discoloration right inside of the intake or exhaust channels, or runners, I guess they're called. A lot of soot, man. Yeah, this really needs to be cleaned. I've also got the valve stem seal tool here, and oh yeah, those look rotten. Yeah. Did any washers come out? 'Cause these all have. Oh, you know what? No, these washers I think are just set there. I don't think they're. Yeah, I bet you they are just set there. Yeah, okay. I'll try cleaning some, throw some solvent in there and see what happens. Now I've got one more thing. I was going to do pistons, but I'm on the fence on that about one more thing. And I want to use my micrometer first to check. I had one here, it's dead, so I went ahead and ordered another one. So hopefully that's going to be in tomorrow. Before I transfer the pins and rods, well, I guess while I do it, because I'll take the rods out, I want to check one more time, because I'm using my eyeballs with this, and that's not a good idea ever. And I want to check that the distance from the rod to the top of the piston is the same across all three. I want to check what the depth is of the metal from the top of the piston to the inside to see if there's, you know, maybe it is easy to take a little bit off and lower my compression. And then I want to check the spacing in between these. It looks, again, to my eyeballs, it looks like it's the same exact piston. You know what? Oh no, optical illusion. I was going to say the oiling groove is bigger, but it's not. You know, those grooves do look to be a little different size. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to check the actual exact thickness in between each land, comparing these two, and if this one, there's a possibility that I'm misreading this, and this is actually a lower compression piston. No, I didn't check the face. Yeah, I don't see any obvious differences in the faces, but I could pour some liquid in one, pour some liquid in the other, and see if it's the same volume. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, since this is the centermost part of the engine, I want to be a little bit more sure about this before I go forward. So hopefully I've got that micrometer in, and I can check all that. And then of course I'll check everything else. Check the cam lobes. Check the crank. I don't want to pull the girdle off. I don't think I'm going to do the main bearings. I think if I want to do the main bearings, I'm pretty sure I have to take the flywheel off. I've got a transmission